It goes like this. Tell me something good.
Tell you something good.
Ooh, there's so much on my mind right now.
Things start flooding through my head. There's so many good things.
Oh, so many good things.
Wherever you are in life, highs and lows are temporary.
Live life to the full.
Life is beautiful.
If you're on the top of the mountain, enjoy it because it's temporary.
Practice gratitude.
Goodness is everywhere.
If you're sliding down the hill and you wonder if it's going to stop, don't panic, it's temporary.
The universe is always conspiring in your favor, so trust it.
There's a lot of, I would say, not good things out there.
Stay positive as much as possible.
There is good even if you cannot see it.
And this is one of the podcasts that shows not just positivity, but is resourceful. You can learn something from a person that gets on your show, and I just thank you for that.
Do your part to do good in this world.
That is what it's all about.
Well, hello, my name's Steve, and this is the place where we shine the light into the darkness to show you time and time again there are good people out there doing good things every single day, just like you. And that's what we share here on World Gone Good. What you just heard at the top of the show was a little montage I put together of a bunch of people from this past year answering the question, not really a question, more of a statement to finish, tell me something good. And those were some of our favorites from this year, 2025. Well, as you know, every year we bring you our Holidays Gone Good. We've given you 5 years in a row of Holidays Gone Good. And you know what? It's time for new things. It's time to change it up. And that's why we've come up with something brand new. Are you ready for World Gone Good's Year in Review?
I am.
I know you are, but no one's ever done it before. So it's totally, no one does a year in review. Who does that?
Right, exactly.
Well, let's start here. This is the 38th episode of the year. We've done 37 prior to this. We've done 38 episodes this year since January. And we've worked more basically than the House of Representatives in the United States of America.
Times 10. Yep.
Oh my God, we should have a shutdown. Should we do a shutdown for like 50 days?
How about just over the holidays?
So we have a really great, fun person with me here today. That is my producer, Lisa. Say hello, say Merry Christmas, say whatever you like to say. What would you like to say to the crowd?
Hello, happy holidays.
So nice, so nice. Now, you're a full-on producer now. How'd you get that title?
I gave it to myself. I actually have multiple titles. I think I told you I have this plaque in my office. Let me look at it. It says General Manager of the Universe.
Do you remember a few years ago when you were like, I have this idea for a guest, but I don't know how to go, like, how do I go after them and what do I do? And I said, oh yeah. And I sent you I think I sent you a little dummy copy of oh, this is what I normally write or whatever.
Yeah, little cheat sheet, yeah.
And then you did it and you booked a guest. And I said to you, you know what you are now. And you're like, what? And I'm like, you're a producer. And you're like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, because you produced a guest. You were like, is it really that easy? And I'm like, yes.
It's amazing. It reminds me of, what was that episode? The CBD episode when they sent you some things and you go, am I an influencer now?
Oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah, that's my friends at Life Elements. They were so lovely. They just sent like a care package after we had, and that's a long time ago. That was our first year. And I was like, oh my God, I'm an influencer. Shit's coming through the door. Just arriving at my door.
I'm
trying to think if anybody else has sent anything. I think that's it so far.
It was a short-lived career, but it was memorable.
That is hilarious. So we have a couple things we're going to tackle today. We're going to talk a little bit about World Gone Good. We're also going to talk about some good things in the world. But let's start, of course, with us because we're egocentric. It's the year in review. What a year it's been. A lot has happened. 38 episodes I've spoken about, and some really incredible things have happened. I'm going to bat this back and forth because I know you have your say in this. I think one of the biggest things that happened this year was we hit our 200th episode.
Amazing.
What did that feel like?
It's like, wow. Most podcasts, they get to like 10 and they're like, I'm done. And I'm like, whoa, this is like a few hundred. It's a long time, but it's fun. It's fun.
I was in so much disbelief about it that I actually was on, our website counting them backwards. Even though it says like episode 199, episode 198, like a lunatic, I started counting like, okay, 163, 107. Oh, look at that, 94. Like, because my brain, because you keep this, tell everybody, because we have a spreadsheet. Here's a little behind the scenes before we go any further. Lisa keeps this amazing spreadsheet that I fuck up all the time.
Not anymore. You're much better.
There was one time where I was just like, I need to move this. And you're like, don't touch it. I had to move a row or something. You're like, do not touch it. But I think I looked at it the other day and we've had over 500 guests.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. That's why we kind of keep that count. Incredible people have been on this show.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
And incredible things have happened. We hit our number one most downloaded show, changed hands from Skiing Gone Good over to Jessica Cruz, part 1 Gone Good. That one blew up the charts.
Yeah. Amazing. It's keeping me busy updating these top 10. Well, what do we have? A top 5 or top 10? We have a top 5.
Yeah, we have a top 5.
If it was top 10, I would just have to quit my job because I wouldn't have time to keep moving them around. It's funny because you said, all right, come up with like 3 of your favorite episodes of the year. And that's like literally impossible because my list is still like I narrowed it down to 8.
Oh my God.
But I highlighted 3 of them, and one of them is Jessica Cruz Gone Good.
Okay. And was it because she's our new number 1 most downloaded show, or is it because you really like the show too?
I learned so much stuff in that episode.
I think I've always just been someone who has been empathetic, which, we could get deep into this, but we won't do that today. Empathy now as an adult is kind of fucked up because as an adult, you kind of realize that maybe you're not empathetic. Maybe it's just trauma. And I say that because, like, when you go through, like, let me not sugarcoat any of this. I grew up very, very, I'm just going to say it, abused. So these are things that I don't necessarily share openly, but physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse, I have since forgiven my mom for this. And it's kind of a very vulnerable thing for me to share, especially on a podcast, but I feel like I'm safe to do that with you, Steve, and all these audience members that are here. And I don't think that you realize that as you grow in this environment that you kind of carry empathy around with you as a badge. But really what it is you just want to be loved and you just want to be seen. And so because of those things, you tend to see others and the world with the same lens as you. And you're like, I just want to love all of these people and I just want to see all of these people and I just want them to be whole and I just want to be here for them. And oftentimes when you grow up like that, and I'll say this straight up, like you develop coping mechanisms to keep being quote unquote empathic, but really what you're doing is abandoning yourself over and over and over again. And I say that because with Vegan Street Fair, and I'm sure we'll get into that shortly, there's a bit of a codependent relationship that I have with it because the empathy that I hold for the vendors and for the attendees and for the movement itself and the animals always puts me in a position that hurts me in the end.
She's really focused on community, right? And that's like our word of the year. And like that's what I got from her in that episode.
Oh, it's funny because as I was kind of reviewing all these episodes, I'm like, community really is our word of the year. I mean, it is. It's like last year was kind of 2024 was, I think it was like mindset, getting unstuck, that kind of thing.
Oh, I'll tell you what 2024 was.
Oh, did we have an official word?
There was an official.
Did I miss the meeting?
God love it. You missed the meeting with all the other producers that don't exist. 2024 was, and our longtime listeners will remember this, 2 words, same letter, eliminate expectations. That was 2024. Right. Remember?
Are you trying to say I'm not a long-time listener?
No, I'm trying to say that I still have not eliminated expectations, but keep going.
Okay, that's good. But yeah, Community, so many of our episodes.
All right, so wait, take me through, because I want to see if some of yours hooked up with mine. What are your other 7?
Mountains Gone Good.
I knew you were going to say that. This is great. You cried through that, you big crybaby.
I was like, this is the most inspiring, and I'm like, trying not to cry, the most inspiring episode I have ever. And it's like Brad Singer, who describes himself as an average guy, and he's doing these unbelievable things.
He said, and I'm going to cry. He said, because I do every time, he said, Brad, if it's hard, and it's going to be, you need to decide if you can do it or if you can't. And if you can't, turn around and come home. I'd rather have you come home. But he also said, if it's hard and you think you can, this is where I cry, reach up and your mom will reach down and she'll help you up. And that was the first thing I thought when I got to the summit.
So I added an episode, and usually I will get it to the point that it's like in place, and I send it to Lisa, and I said, hey, if you have a chance to listen to this, I'm still cleaning it up. And sometimes, she's busy, you're working, I get it. And then you'll be like, oh, yeah, I listened to it, it was great. And other times, literally, it'll be like, because I'm in London, so it'll be like midnight, my time, which is 7 p.m. your time. I will get a text that go, I am sobbing right now. And I'm like, oh, okay, I know what she's doing. She's either having a breakdown, watching a really good Dateline, or she's reviewing one of the podcasts I sent her. But you did with that one. You said, I am in tears right now.
Oh, I mean, it was amazing. So he describes himself as an average guy. And here he's climbing Mount Everest and Mount Kilimanjaro and swimming these incredible lengths and all this stuff. And in this, he goes, I'm just an average guy. I'm short, stocky, I'm older, I'm 62. And I'm thinking, wait, I'm short, I'm stocky, I'm older. Maybe I could try to do these things. And I'm not 62. I'm a young, spry 56.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so I just felt
inspiring.
like, wow, it's never too late. Like you can try something new, and what's holding you back? Just do it. Just do it. I mean, what's going to happen? You're going to fail, or you're not going to fail. Either way, you did it, or you have a great story.
All right, what's next on your list?
Okay, this one's just a short one. Wine Gone Good.
Oh, okay, great.
And I know you're surprised about that because I, as much as I try, I'm not really a wine person. I wish
am.
I was. I could fit
I
in
am.
better. I could keep up with the cool kids. The reason I love that episode is your story in the beginning about calling that pizza place. I'm telling anybody listening right now, just listen to the first 5 episodes.
I'll
minutes.
just do it. Oh, you don't even have to say that. I'm going to add the clip in right here.
Oh my God, please do.
Okay, so we start today with a little story from my somewhat good checkered past. Back in the very early 2000s, this was how I would spend my Friday nights. I ordered a pizza every Friday night from the New York Pizza and Pasta Company on La Brea and Sunset in Hollywood, California. I'm going to side note for a second here. I truly believe this place was just a front, because when you called there, this is how they answered. It would go like this. Ring, ring, hello. And every time I would just start laughing because they didn't answer like New York Pasta and Pizza Company or Pizza Palace or Pizza Place. This guy would just go, hello. So I would, try to stop laughing and ask, is this the New York Pizza and Pasta Company? And the guy would go, yeah. And I'd go, I'd like to order a pizza. And then he would go, a little annoyed, hang on, and put me on hold to someone singing Volare. And then like a minute later, someone else would pick up the phone and also go, hello.
I love that story so much. It makes me cry. It's so good. It's so good.
It is 100% the truth. And that's the great thing about a story is like when something is so true, people go, okay, that never happened. But when it's something you make up, people are like, oh yeah, I believe that. You know what I mean? Like it's the reverse of what it should be. And that is a God's honest truth. The New York Pizza and Pasta Company, La Brea and Hollywood Boulevard. La Brea and Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. Great pizza. But I'm pretty sure mob operated.
Mm-hmm. And then here you're giving them a shout out, and if they learn about it, they'll be like, okay.
Yeah, because they'll be like, well, the plus side is he gave us a shout out. The minus side is he informed everybody that we're the mob.
There's a lack of enthusiasm with bringing in new business, but okay. So how about you switch now? You tell me some of yours, and we'll come back to mine.
One of my favorite episodes I got to do, because it was our final one that I actually did in Santa Barbara, was the sound bath episode. So there's so many places we could start here, but I'm going to start really wide and we'll go in.
Okay.
What are some of your favorite sounds?
Sound of nature, sound of children's laughter, adults' laughter, and the silence in between. Silence has so much meaning.
That was a unique one because I actually physically went to a place, which I don't normally do, right? I normally do it the way we're doing it right now, which is remotely. But I got to go into her studio and got to sit with her, got to play on all of these bowls and drums and gongs and things. And I just really connected with her. And I almost regret that I met her so late because we moved right after that.
Yeah.
Then I was like, maybe that's when I was supposed to meet her.
Yeah, that's true. And, maybe there's a place like that, different angle, something where you are now.
There is. It's called Queen Elizabeth's Tower. And Big Ben, he goes off basically on the hour. Okay, continue.
No, you're naming yours. Go ahead.
Well, of course, I love the 5 Years Gone Good show, which took us here to London. And I know I'm betting that's on your list because you have told me you love the top of that show more than anything in the world.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
This is Victoria.
Okay, James, I'm putting you on the spot. Tell me 3 things you like about London so far. Go.
The vegan food, the parks, and some of the people.
If you're feeling down and you're feeling blue, you need someone to comfort you. I'll be here. I'll be here.
Super fun. I felt like I was on a little train ride, going on the trip with you. It was fun.
Yeah, it was nice to do the transition and come over here and bring everybody with us and introduce people to new things. And it's also fun, because we've been going back and forth. I have United States guests. I have guests over here. We did a little thing in Paris. We keep it moving. All right, your turn. Give me another one.
My turn. All right. Chatty Cafe Scheme.
Wow, you were picking recent ones. Okay.
Yeah, well, some. Wine Got Good's not recent. But Chatty, yes. I love...
Wait, we went from wine to coffee. Good work. Continue.
Yes. Chatty Cafe Scheme. And first of all, exactly what you said. I love the word scheme. Who doesn't love a good scheme?
I love that word.
Even though I guess it has a different connotation here.
Yeah, I don't know which version I like better. Like which definition, which way we want to lean into it. Because I like the American scheme.
Yes, so do I.
But then I like a scheme here. Just like, we're having a scheme.
I thought it was great because, it is, again, it's about community. It's about connecting with other people. There are a lot of people who want to connect, a lot of people who don't know how. And I just thought it was so cool. And what did they grow to, like 900 in... Yeah, and now they're in other countries.
And 200 in Australia. Yeah, it's nuts.
And actually. Yeah.
crazy.
I thought it was cool. And what I thought was interesting, just the kind of the history of it. Like she talked about the origins and why this occurred to her.
Just to give you a quick background, it was when my sister Alex, she just had a new baby, and she was really hit with quite strong feelings of loneliness. And she was walking around cafes in Manchester where she grew up, where we grew up. And she just noticed one day, going into various different cafes, she spotted that people would just be sat, often on their own at tables, just looking really fed up. And it got her thinking, wouldn't it be great if spaces like cafes designated a table as what we call a chatter and natter table, where if people wanted to get together and chat in that moment, they could. So we came up with that idea, the chatter and natter table, and then kind of off the back of that, knocked around some ideas for what the organisation could be called. And that's when we came up with the name, the Chatty Cafe Scheme. Just to mention, actually, because I've heard this before, I think the word scheme, does that have a slightly different meaning? Is that got a slightly more negative meaning in the US?
A little bit so, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have the negative sort of links here, I don't think. So that's something that came up, funnily enough, when we spoke to someone from the US only a few months ago. But here it's in the context of the Chatty Cafe Scheme, it's just sort of describing like the Chatty Cafe group, rather than, so it's not really seen as something negative here, but a bit more positive, if anything.
I think, people always long for connection.
Yes, and what I really also loved about it, when Abby was telling about her sister and how this all started, it almost reminded me of how this show started, which is she was looking around and said, oh, what if there was a way? And said, I'll make the way. I'll build it.
Yes.
Why not? And that's something I really connected to when she and I spoke, because it's very much, and I think I actually told her that and I edited that part out, because that's another thing about this show is like, y'all, there's a lot of stuff that ends up on the cutting room floor. And most of it is your friend Steve here telling ridiculously long ADHD style history of my own that no one needs to sit through 6 minutes of me talking about the fembots from The Bionic Woman.
Yeah,
but if you'd like to.
You say cutting room floor. I say bonus good episode.
Right, exactly. And that's like, if you guys want to hear me talk about Lindsay Wagner, I'll talk about her. I'll talk about her.
Oh, he'll talk about her.
But I think I did tell her that. Hey, listen, moving on though, I think one of my favorite episodes of the entire year was Olag Gone Good.
That's on my list.
See, I knew we'd hit one together. Old ladies against underwater garbage.
This is going back many years. Susan was swimming with a friend, and Susan was very enamored of, and still is enamored with, turtles. She was actually in the water in a freshwater pond here on Cape Cod looking for turtles when she started getting tempted to start picking up trash, which she had been using for markers in the water. If she came across the same old plastic milk jug, she would say, oh, this is where I turn. I should be turning left, or something like that. And so finally, she and the other swimmer decided, well, maybe we'll start picking up trash. And I think it was the other woman, whom I don't know, but I think the other woman said, we're just some old ladies against underwater garbage. And that stuck. Susan really liked that. And about 5 years ago, it became very formalized as a group.
What a friggin' delight those two women were, and how many laughs we had. And honestly, there were a couple things that I said that I was like, oh, Steve, you went too far. But they would burst out laughing. And it was just so, again, inspiring and cool that there have this mixture of two things that I love. One, it's never too late. And two, if you're passionate about something, There's 88 other people who are passionate about it too, just what we talked about with Chatty Cafe. If you want that community, you put it out there, and I guarantee you, there are other people who want to join in. Well, I think the one we're both going to agree on happened 1 week ago.
Yes. I was saving best for last. I mean, they're all best in their own way, but this one was unbelievable.
Yeah, my mom asked me, she's like, how did you get Sheriff Chris Swanson? And I said, well, hilariously, my old workmate, Mike, he's the one who texted me and said, do you know Sheriff Chris Swanson? And I was like, I know the name. I like that, you hear a name, you're like, I think I know that name. And he's like, and he started telling me about him via text. I said, oh, yeah, I remember this guy. And Mike said, well, I work with him. I volunteer with him from California. He's in Michigan. You guys are doing the same thing. He should be on your show.
This episode had me crying. It was so good. It was just so good. It's like he takes this protest that's on the verge of getting, not just ugly, deadly, and turns it into a parade and people showing respect to each other and, hey, we're all in this together.
And he does it in a split-second decision.
Yeah.
And that's something I talked to him about. It's like, that is one of those fight or flight, yes or no, in or out, get the fire extinguisher moments. And he did it so fast. And I asked him then in the interview, what made you even think that? And he didn't even have an answer. He just said he just knew from all his training that he had to go another way. And that he knew what the outcome was, of this, what it could be, and what could he do. And he did that brilliant thing of just saying, I'm going to turn left. I'm going to make a hard, sharp left. And I know what could happen anyway. So what's the worst that could happen if I make that hard, sharp left? And again, that goes back to everything we talk about on this show, is taking those chances, that it's never too late.
Obviously, what so many people know him for is how he turned that protest into something positive that, could have been just devastating. I just like seeing people, giving people chances and knowing there's another way.
And speaking of another way, I had the opportunity to record with Mike, my friend Mike Rust, who is the one who set up the whole Sheriff Chris Swanson. And now, drumroll, please take a listen to this little bonus that I'm adding in right now. You're welcome. Consider it your holiday gift. So our guest today, Sheriff Chris, came to us because my friend Mike sent me a text. Or what'd you send me, Mike? An email or a text?
An email, because I wanted to make sure I did it properly and got all of the accolades and work and his story as best as possible.
And it was also very respectful to me that you treated me like a professional person.
Because you are.
Nah.
As far as I can tell.
Nah. Mr. Mike, you are a fan of Sheriff Chris. Can you tell us why?
Well, I met or became aware of Sheriff Chris Swanson in the summer of 2020 during all of the protests and the riots. And he kind of came to the national scene at that point after handling a protest in Flint, Michigan. He made some national news during that time and how he handled the protest and de-escalated and got to speak actually with the people there on the streets who, as he so rightly puts it, had righteous anger. He basically turned a protest into a parade. And it was a really special, awesome moment where there were no arrests, there was no violence. And so it was an example of how it can be done. After that, I met Chris through a mutual friend, through peacekeeping efforts. Ever since, it's been just a privilege to be in his orbit, in his circle, and an example of hope and optimism that there actually is a way to cut through the divide, cut through the vitriol and the anger, and he is a living example of it.
So one thing we're talking a lot about this year, it's our word for the year, it's community. And that's what you're talking about here, don't you think?
Absolutely, community. Sheriff Chris Swanson has been in public service for north of 30 years, and his job is all about protecting the community. So as sheriff, usually on all the patrol cars, it's to protect and serve. He added unify. So on all his police cars in the county of Genesee County in Michigan is to protect, serve, and unify. Unify the community. Unity is in community. So
yeah, literally.
It makes sense. And that's what he does. And that's what he lives by. And that's how he conducts his business as sheriff.
And he inspires you.
He inspires me and many people that live in Genesee County.
And you don't live there. You live in Southern California.
I live in Southern California.
It still matters to you. That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter where you are. It's like we can all come together.
And that's part of the good side of social media. Obviously, there's plenty of bad side, but the good side is that his community, his reach, his circle can go across the country. And it did in 2020. And that's how I got to know him and to be aware of him was through social media. And it brings communities together in bigger ways. And so he's known at this point across the world for his peacekeeping efforts and the job that he does.
And just so we wrap this up with you, what are you doing community-wise? What are you doing in your world?
What I do and try to do, and this is something that Chris always says, is how can you make a difference in your circle, on your platform, big or small? You know, we talk about do things on the local level, grassroots efforts. And so all I'm trying to do with my circle, whatever it is to try to promote that type of optimism, positivity, unity, reaching out to those we disagree with, reaching out to those people who we scratch our heads and think, how in the world? Because those people often think that way about me or
right.
what I think. So if we zoom way out, we have to be able to think that we can reach out and affect change to those people. And that's by doing it in a respectful way, not painting people with the least courteous brush, and giving the respect that you would want. And that's actually have a chance to have a dialogue.
100%. But I'll tell you right now, if anyone says anything bad about Lindsay Wagner, Lee Majors, or Bigfoot, it's on, Mike. This mic goes down, this microphone, and it's all fists. It's slow motion fisticuffs.
I'll reach out my hand if you unclench your fist. Even if they think that way, if you're being courteous and if it's the best of us, you would reach out and say, why do you think that way? And here's why I disagree with you.
Can I say comma idiot and then insert the bionic sound effect?
Just lose the idiot, because that usually name calling doesn't advance the civil discourse, and then we've lost.
Okay, now that we've taken a good look back at 2025, is it time to take a peek into what 2026 has to offer? You know we love a next time on World Gone Good, don't we? That's how I usually say it. So on that note, we thought we'd give you a preview of some of our upcoming good guests in the new year, and just by letting them introduce themselves and then letting them share a little bit about their own personal good story.
My name's Christine Whisler, and you're entering a world gone good. And I said, Mom, you are not missing this wedding. We are going to make this happen. And I called one place. And remember, we're in COVID at this time. So I am calling from a hospital from the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. I called one barn down here in Florida because it was COVID and I knew it had to be outdoors. And I said, hey, my mom's dying. We just got this diagnosis. Is there any way that you can throw us a wedding in 6 days? The doctor said we have to throw it this weekend to make sure that her brain will be able to enjoy it. And the woman starts crying on the phone and she said, my name is Angel. My mom was my best friend and I will throw you the wedding of your dreams. And I said, Angel, I can't thank you enough. Do you have anybody? I know we're only allowed to have 50 people at the wedding. So we're going to cut this wedding list from 250 to 50 because of COVID restrictions. Do you have anybody with Christian vibes? We're Catholic or Christian, whatever, it doesn't matter. Can you just find somebody who will marry us? And she said, yep, I have just the guy. His name is Angel. He'll be there to marry you guys. And I said, great. And last question, most of the people at the wedding will be my mom's friends from Chicago. Do you have a venue? This is kind of what we're thinking, where we're looking for like a hotel where I could tell everyone to go. And she was like, yep, for exactly what you're talking about. The event coordinator's name is Angel.
Hey, I'm Anthony Dyer, and you're entering A World Gone Good. Yeah, I was a U.S. Air Force Special Missions Aviator, and I was in the the 16th Special Operations Squadron starting in 2010. There's a certain sadness with people who's had trauma and they've never took the first step to heal. It basically, in that look itself is a cry for help, and you learn how to recognize that. And, there's different signs they teach you about, like where, for example, someone starts giving away all their belongings, or like they're really sad. And one day they're really happy, right? Like there's these things you were sort of taught to look out for in the, in that world. But, oftentimes it's the ones that you least expected, that I hate to say it this way, that go through with the act, right? And what I'm getting at is the, unfortunately, 22 veterans a day, we lose to suicide. And, and I want to feel like that the first step to helping that person is to recognizing those symptoms and that they're not themselves that you knew them as.
I'm Doug Page, and you're entering A World Gone Good. A good book can change your life. It can make you a better person. It can give you ideas. I interviewed a guy, a Harvard professor, business B school professor, Ron J. Galati, written a book, about being bold in the workplace. I read the book and I thought, yeah, you're right on. You got to be bold in the workplace. You've got to take a chance. You've got to throw the dice. You got to take a risk. You could talk yourself into it. You could talk yourself out of it. But if you don't do anything, you're stuck where you are. If you do something, you never know where you might go.
Hi, I'm Champale Anderson, and you're entering A World Gone Good. I wish that we can all come together because we need each other. That's my goal. My whole goal is every day, black, white, brown, green, whatever. Let's stick together because, as we can tell, we have some enemies against us right now. So if they shut us down, we are through. And we really gonna need each other then. But that's what I would like, just for us all to come together.
Well, thank you for joining us on our Year in Review show. And you can catch up on all the things that are good simply by going where, Lisa? You're in charge of it. Tell them.
worldgonegoodpodcast.com. And we are also on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
That's our newest one.
Oh my God. You said she texted me the other day. I've set us up on LinkedIn. I'm like, what?
Well, I need, my professional life, I need to add producer.
Yes. That's the selfish reason she did it. Yeah.
That's the selfish reason.
Go follow us there. I think we have 5 followers right now. Let's build that up.
Oh my God, we're up to 5 already?
I think so.
So excited.
That is amazing. All right. Well, catch up wherever you'd like on all things World Gone Good. Enjoy your holidays. Happy holidays to you, Lisa. Happy New Year to you.
Happy holidays and New Year to you and your family and all our listeners.
And we will see you in the new year with brand new episodes rolling out on January 7th. I think I have that date right. That sounds about right to me. January 6th, somewhere around there. And as always, until then, be good.